How is immigration actually enforcing entry rules in 2026? Is there a new long-term visa in the works? And what about airport changes, healthcare access, and transportation in Bangkok and Thailand more broadly? This is our monthly Q&A where I answer your questions about living and traveling in Thailand. This is part one where I'll focus on visas, entry rules, the arrival process, and travel logistics. As always, thank you for the excellent questions, and let's dive right in. Let's start with entry rules because this is where most of the confusion lies right now. And to be honest, most of the time. Most visitors to Thailand arrive using something called a visa exemption, which allows nationals from 93 countries to stay in the country for up to 60 days without applying for a visa in advance. But over the past year, immigration authorities have stepped up enforcement against people who are misusing these exemptions to essentially live in the country long term. That enforcement has created a lot of confusion online, and it's led to three closely related questions that keep coming up. Is there a limit on the number of visa exempt entries? How long can someone stay in Thailand per year using visa exemptions? And does immigration automatically reset those entries each year? First, there is no official limit on the number of visa exempt entries within a calendar year. The idea that Thailand suddenly introduced a hard numerical cap is a rumor, and it's incorrect. If you're visiting Thailand multiple times per year for normal tourism, that alone is not a problem. Where scrutiny begins is total time spent in the country, and there's a soft limit of roughly 157 days within a calendar year when using visa exemptions. And finally, your immigration profile does not automatically reset each year. A concentrated pattern that spans 2 calendar years can still raise red flags, especially if stays are back-to-back or a pattern of extended stays dates back for multiple years. But if your recent stay didn't exceed 157 days, you shouldn't have any issues. Just remember to have a return or onward flight booked, a hotel reservation, and a straightforward tourism-oriented explanation for your trip. It's nothing elaborate, just something that fits a visitor profile in case you're asked. But entry from Cambodia has been under increased scrutiny in recent months. Thailand has been actively cracking down on regional scam networks, and residents or frequent travelers from Cambodia and Myanmar may face questions about their occupation or source of income. The objective is to identify people who are connected to scam operations, and normal travelers shouldn't encounter any serious problems. It's also important to understand how immigration tracking works today. Thailand uses biometric data, including facial scans and fingerprints, and every entry is recorded under a single immigration profile. That profile links all passports tied to the same biometric data, including old or expired documents, as well as passports issued by a second country. Using a second passport won't bypass the 157-day soft cap or any other enforcement measures. And an officer may ask why you switched. But if you're a dual national, just provide an honest answer and you should be fine. If you exceed or near that soft cap, you should look into getting a proper long-term visa. And the Destination Thailand visa, or DTV, has become probably the most accessible option. The base requirement is proof of at least 500,000 Thai baht, which must be held in a foreign bank account under your name. Immigration doesn't actually handle the issuance of the DTV, which is done by each embassy or consulate separately, and additional documentation is typically required. This often includes proof of an online income or enrollment in a recognized soft power activity. But requirements can vary by location, so you'll need to check with the specific consulate handling your application. Visa rules can and often do change quickly and abruptly. And it's one of the reasons why this is probably the most frequently asked question on these Q&As. And as always, I'll keep you informed if there are any changes. But with all the confusion, rumors about visa policies tend to spread quickly. And the most recent claim is that Thailand plans to introduce a long-term visa for people who buy or rent property in the country. This claim originates from a single real estate agency advertisement circulating on Instagram and Facebook, which suggests that purchasing a property valued at 3 million baht or more, or signing a lease at 85,000 baht per month or higher, grants eligibility for a one-year visa. The proposal appears to be connected to Police Order 327/2557, Section 2.5, which is an existing investment-based visa category that typically requires a minimum investment of 10 million baht to qualify for a renewable one-year extension of stay. Prior to 2006, the minimum investment threshold under this framework was only 3 million baht, and it appears that certain partners may be able to operate under this earlier threshold, potentially as part of an effort to stimulate the mid-tier property market through the Thailand Long Stay Management Framework, which is partially owned by the Tourism Authority of Thailand. But this is not a new visa, and it appears to be tied to specific projects and legal intermediaries rather than representing a nationwide immigration change. And caution is strongly advised. There have been no official government announcements confirming any policy shift. At present, the claim rests on a single online advertisement, and anything encountered on social media should be treated with skepticism. Always wait for a formal policy announcement or verify the details with a reputable immigration law firm before making any investment or real estate decisions. Before we move on from visas entirely, I briefly want to address the non-O process, which is typically used for retirement visas. And it typically involves an initial non-O entry, followed by a one-year extension processed at immigration inside Thailand. That extension is the actual long-term permission of stay, and an important detail here is that the extension is dated from the expiration of your current permission, not from the day you apply or the day you entered. So if you apply early, no time is lost. The new year simply stacks onto the expiration of your existing stamp. Now that we've covered the many questions about visas and entry rules, let's talk a little bit about the arrival process. When you arrive at Suvarnabhumi International Airport in Bangkok, the best place to exchange money is on the basement level near the airport rail link. Those exchange counters consistently offer the best rates in the airport, but they only accept cash. And it's usually quick, so you can exchange money even during a short layover, which is typically your best option if traveling to another area of the country. Or if you prefer to use a card, ATMs are widely available and foreign cards are accepted, but there is a 250 baht fee per withdrawal. If you're American, it's worth bringing a travel debit card from Charles Schwab or Chase, as they reimburse those ATM fees. Check out my full guide on money in Thailand for a more detailed breakdown. Transportation is another key topic for visitors, and motorbike rentals are extremely common, especially in the islands. Most rental shops won't ask for a license, which gives people the impression that it's fine to ride without one. But in order to legally ride in Thailand, you need a proper motorcycle license, along with an international driving permit or IDP. Police regularly set up checkpoints, and fines are common. Or in the event of an accident, insurance providers will typically deny coverage if you're riding without the correct license. If you plan to ride here, it's best to get properly licensed. And if you're staying in Bangkok, most visitors rely primarily on public trains and ride-hailing apps, but one of the most overlooked transportation options is the waterway system, which includes both the Chao Phraya river ferries and the canal boats. For river ferries, you usually buy a ticket at the pier before boarding, and you can just hop on the canal boats and pay the conductor on board. Fares can be as low as 15 baht, there's no traffic, and the views often feel like a sightseeing experience in their own right. I cover both systems in detail in my transportation guide, so I'll link that in the description because it goes into great detail about how the ferry systems work, the costs, and all the different routes you can take. Bangkok also has two main urban rail systems which cover nearly the entire city, the BTS and the MRT, both of which offer stored value cards. However, the BTS Rabbit card has caused frustration recently, particularly for foreign card holders. Many foreigners have experienced failed top-ups or blocked cards, and this appears to be linked to newer anti-money laundering regulations, which now require mandatory passport verification. If your card is blocked or a top-up fails, you'll need to visit a BTS ticket office with your physical passport, a Thai phone number, and sometimes your address to re-register the card. Now, this is definitely inconvenient, and there's been very little public explanation around why these increased verification requirements have been put in place, but it's a good example of how bureaucracy can surface unexpectedly here in Thailand. And it's just something you learn to live with if you reside in this country. Bangkok also serves as a transit hub for travelers heading to nearby destinations like Pattaya, and direct buses operate from the airports. They run throughout the day starting around 6 a.m. and cost roughly 150 baht one way. The ticket counter is located on the ground floor near the main taxi exit. Alternatively, ride-hailing apps are widely used. There's a pickup point in the official taxi area, and the cheapest option is typically in Drive, where you can offer a price directly in the app. It's often possible to get a ride to Pattaya for around 1,000 baht or less. Finally, one of the least common forms of transportation in Thailand is cycling, especially in the major cities. Traffic, heat, and road conditions make it impractical for most visitors. However, if you're planning a longer cycling trip outside urban areas, Thailand State Railway allows bikes to be transported in a freight section for just over 100 baht. To reach the station with a bike, you can order a pickup truck or van through Grab that allows large items. Another common concern people have is what happens if you get sick or injured while traveling in Thailand. And it's definitely best to give this some thought before you set out on your journey. As a tourist, you can typically visit either a clinic or a hospital, depending on the issue. Thailand has a large number of specialized clinics that handle specific problems and offer very easy access to care. Or for more serious issues, hospitals provide world-class diagnostics and treatment. There are public hospitals where prices are lower, but wait times can be longer and English support more limited. And there are private hospitals that typically resemble luxury resorts, where you can usually walk in and see a specialist the same day. Doctor consultation fees can be as low as 500 baht, but at private hospitals, they're more commonly 1,000 baht or more. Overall, healthcare access in Thailand is excellent, but costs can escalate quickly in case of serious illness or accident, and travel insurance is a must. It can cost as little as $2 a day for coverage, and I'll leave a link in the description to the travel insurance that I use, which also has a cost calculator attached, so that you can check out the costs for yourself as well. But take basic precautions to avoid unnecessary hospital or clinic visits. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke are very common, especially from March through May during the hot season. Drink plenty of water, wear light clothing, and take regular breaks, especially if you're outdoors during the middle of the day. And outside Bangkok, mosquito repellent is essential, as dengue fever is a real risk, particularly during the rainy season. Let's talk about accommodation, which is a very common question here on the channel. Now, first of all, I can't give any single one-size-fits-all recommendation. This comes down to your individual budget, preferences, and what you're really looking for on your trip to Thailand. And when it comes to individual neighborhood recommendations here in Bangkok, I have a full area guide. I'll link that in the description. But one area that works very well for many visitors is Satorn. It's very walkable, has a wide range of restaurants, and offers a good balance between local neighborhoods and easy access to public transportation and major attractions. But wherever you stay, the most important thing is to be close to a BTS or MRT station, as that has a bigger impact on convenience than almost anything else. Another frequent question is about accommodation type. Hotels are a solid option overall, but for longer stays, serviced apartments are often the better choice. These are buildings with a single owner, and they typically offer daily weekly, or monthly rentals. You'll find thousands of listings across every price range on RentHub, and the value on offer is typically better than Airbnb. For broader travel plans, if you're looking for mountains, cooler weather, and a slower pace, the north is a great option, especially around Chiang Mai and Pai. But you may want to avoid the region from February through April as air pollution spikes due to the agricultural burning season. Or if you're looking for a more traditional island experience, the Gulf Islands are a reliable option. For shorter trips, flying directly into Koh Samui is usually the easiest route. It's more expensive than flying to the mainland, but it saves a significant amount of time and hassle, since combining flights with ferries can take half a day or more. Just keep in mind that the Gulf Islands have a different rainy season from October through December. For visitors who want a deeper experience, one of the strongest recommendations I can make is to spend time in less touristy, off-the-beaten-path destinations. You'll get a much better sense of everyday Thai life, and smaller provincial cities are absolutely worth visiting, even if just for a day or two. Another question that comes up more often than you'd expect is clothing, as it can be difficult to find larger sizes in Thailand. For plus-size clothing, Krung Thong Plaza in the Pratunam area of Bangkok is widely considered the best option. It's a 4-story building with sizes ranging from small up to 8XL, making it one of the most reliable places to shop comfortably. And while we're on shopping, earbud translators have definitely become more popular of late. I haven't personally tested any, so I can't provide a single recommendation, but if I do, I'll make sure to share my experience. And finally, let's talk briefly about food, because this can surprise some visitors. Thai cuisine often includes ingredients like organs, blood, or chicken feet, particularly in soups and stews. This can definitely be unappealing for visitors, and in tourist areas, just ask the vendor to exclude them. They're very familiar with foreign preferences and will understand without any issue. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of our Q&A for the month. If I didn't get to your question today, check out part 2. It'll be up later this week. As always, thank you for the excellent questions. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.